Yowza, yowza, yowza. Another week over, another week done. And we're, saying see ya to September and getting ready for fall. The colors changing and dancing in your eyes like you've done several tabs of acid. Floating, and it's a fun time. I like the autumn best of all. I drive my foster daughter, soon to be adopted, to daycare every Monday through Friday. So while you are listening to Jazz and AJ or your books on tape or whatever, I'm listening to nursery rhymes. That's another thing. You really should, if you are an artist at all, recording artist, make some kid stuff that's good, because you'll become a billionaire. But I'm listening to these and I'm going, what are we teaching the children through these stories? 3 blind mice. 3 blind mice. Now think of how pathetic that is. Well, and what are the odds that there's going to be 3 blind mice? And they're just, they're scurrying on the floor. They're hitting the wall. It's sad. But see how they run. Oh, see how they run. Like it's a joy to watch these poor blind mice whack into walls, run into chairs. It's not a joy. See how these poor blind mice run. And then they all went after the farmer's wife. How did they go out? They didn't see her? She just happened to be somewhere standing in the kitchen, and one of the mice probably came near her, and she freaks out. So what would one do in a situation like that? You'd grab a broom and you'd sweep the mice out because they can't get away from you. They're blind. But what does she do? Oh, no. She grabs them and cuts off their tails with a carving knife. She doesn't kill them. No, she's going to torture them more. They use those little tails to help them get around. She cuts off the tails of the blind mice, and you're singing, have you ever seen such a sight in your life as the 3 blind mice? And, my 3-year-old is just delighted by this little tale. Or Humpty Dumpty. Nowhere in Humpty Dumpty do they say that Humpty is an egg. But Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. He had a great fall. And then all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Well, of course not. Why would you have a horse involved in trying to put something together? What are they going to hold the pliers? I don't think so. They got hoofs. There's nothing they are going to do that is going to be in any way helpful in putting anything back together again with a horse. And then you've got Knick-a-Knack Paddywhack. This old man. You know what that is? That is a British song. The British who despised the Irish. This old man, he played the paddywhack. You know what the paddywhack is? It's when you hold the spoons in a certain way and you can play them and play a little song on them. That's to gather attention to yourself as you go down the streets of London trying to sell trinkets that you found. So, Knick-a-Knack Paddywhack, okay? And the British, because they hated the Irish, they weren't going to give anything to an Irishman. They're going to, no, he'll just make soup out of that bone. Give it to the dog. And this old man came rolling home. Why? Because if he got any money by selling his wares, he's an Irishman, and he's just going to be drunk, and we're just going to have to roll him home. Go back through your nursery rhymes. There's some pretty twisted stuff. I'm going to make my stand and have, maybe Guns N' Roses do Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Nothing wrong with that. E-I-E-I-O. There's something that crossed my mind this week. instead of all the mayhem that's going on. That way, my mind is ready, more than ready, for the weekend. And a fine weekend it's going to be. Sunshine and birds singing, and probably close to 80 both days. I don't think you can beat that with a stick or a paddywhack. So let's get to it. Pig out, pork out, freak out, watch out. For this weekend is now in session, and you've gotta, gotta, Wigout.